When we talk about mission work, the Great Commission, Bible translation usually people don't talk about it, but it's such a huge and strategic area of engagement, because if you are taking the gospel to people and they are not able to understand it in their heart language, it becomes more difficult. So I think the church should be able to realize that Bible translation is as important as the individuals that we are sending out to go and preach the gospel to other people. So as we begin to think of rounding up, let's look at the issue of partnerships. I'm quite interested in that. Partnerships and networks. How, over the years, how have you been able to do that? The individuals and organizations from the Western world that are supporting you, how were you able to develop all of this? And what strategy do you have in place to ensure that you further develop this, especially with our local balance here within the local area? Because we need to own this work.
Yes, exactly.
So we must not allow the Western world to be the ones that are continually funding what we are doing here locally. So what strategy do we have in place to develop stronger partnerships locally?
Yeah, so talking about strategy is what I said. Like I said, before becoming an executive director, I was asked to head the department called the Partnership Engagement and Mobilization Department. I remember the first time I was posted to that department, I gathered everybody in the department. I said, based on my own understanding, we are like the marketers of this organization.
Yeah.
And what does a marketer do? A marketer is somebody who has a product that he wants to sell.
Yeah.
He wants the people to buy. So I told them, and we have that understanding that, okay, what is the product we have at hand now? We said it's MBTT. MBTT is the product. What does MBTT do? We do translation. But what are the challenges? Why do we need people to support us in the first place? Now, people need to support us because what we are doing is what we are mandated to do even as believers. That people are able to hear God speak to their hearts directly. We know what it does to the life of human beings. It brings people back to the saving knowledge of Christ. People get to understand the voice of Christ through their own languages. Now the strategies, so we have started going out at that time. We go out to churches. We write pastors, head of denominations, to permit us come to their conference ground, to go to their individual churches. We normally go out to have church service with them. And then we are given few minutes to stand up and share what MBTT is all about, what we are doing as an organization, and where the needs to support the organization lies. So we have been doing that and we are seeing impact.
Great.
So we need to just improve upon that. It is not easy to penetrate to certain churches because of the bureaucracy and all. You have to know somebody who knows somebody to take it to somebody that knows somebody to connect it to the CEO. So it has not been easy. However, we thank God for some of the churches that have opened up their platform to us to be able to share what we do and for them to be able to see the needs of what we are doing and support the needs. Now, we have been thinking out of the box. Aside from the partners, we know that we really need to sit down as an organization and do something else. Now, in MPTT today, we have accommodation that is giving us money. We have the kitchen that is also giving us money. We are giving both indoors catering services and outdoors catering services. We have the printing press in MPTT that by the grace of God, we are doing little jobs that is also giving us some form of money. So we are trying to create businesses that can help us not to shift from our vision and mission. You understand? So those are some of the strategies we are putting in place. And then most importantly, individuals connection. Meeting one-on-one One-on-one is one of the key areas we feel that can be very impactful. Because going to churches needs a lot of meetings before certain churches approve certain offerings, or some of those opportunities for you to even create awareness. So we have discovered that meeting one-on-one with our flyers, earmarking individuals that have the heart of missions. There are those who have the heart. We are not underrating anybody, even the market women, even the people selling the vendors. We are not underrating anybody as far as giving to God's work is concerned. So we are looking up at meeting individuals. So our department for mobilization is strategizing that, and we are doing that more often than how it used to be in the past. I tell you today, people are beginning to support us on individual capacity and even with at the family levels. So the Lord is helping us get some form of funding through all this.
Thank you so much. And our prayer is that all of these strategies and methodologies that you're using will help generate the required funds for you. So before I let you go, one more question. And that is your final thoughts. What do you have to tell the global community out there, especially as it has to do with your work as a Bible translator?
Well, for me, working as a Bible translator is a privilege to work. It is not an easy thing to work for God. But anybody who works for God and is able to do that faithfully, the Lord is always there to show himself faithful to those who seek him diligently. Working with God, being patient with God is very key as Christians. I tell people it's a question of time. Just stay with God and see what God will do. I know that God is interested in all that we are doing. He's interested. If you are in this kind of organization to make money instantly, you won't get it. Money is not there for you to make it. But when you are consistent in what you are doing, the Lord will gradually and continually meet you at the point of your need. That is what I have seen the faithfulness of God in my life as I work in this organization. Some of the things I am not even thinking about, I see God meeting my needs moment by moment. And that is really encouraging. I know as a person in this organization, even before I became the executive director, we have stayed for months without salary. But at a point, my heart was just set on the work. I have just set my eyes, I fixed my eyes on him and my heart on the work. I said, God, if this is what you have called us to do, you will not leave us. We will not go unrewarded. And we see God for keeping his promises to all of us. I tell you, indeed, God is faithful. Let us stick to God, remain with God, trust God, and do that which God is saying you should do. Do it faithfully, and God will show himself in your individual life, in your family life, and the organization you are working. God will do it for you.
Amen.
Let's just be patient with him. Thank you.
Okay. Indeed, God is faithful. Those were the final words from our esteemed guest today in VerityTalks, Mrs. Patience Toma. It's been an exciting time in our conversation today with the Executive Director of Nigeria Bible Translation Trust. Thank you for being with us, and we look forward to engaging with you again in the next edition. God bless. Thank you for joining us in today's episode of VerityTalks. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. See you again on the next episode of VerityTalks. Thank you and God bless.